Well, I'm already laughing here on Friends and Neighbors. You know who I am. I'm Sherry Tatum, and I've got my beautiful, wonderful, precious, that I love friend. Used to be all-time co-host. Now she's just my little co-host that comes, that sees me every now and then. It's Kelly.
Do you know how long it's been since somebody said I was little? I hadn't been called that since I was 16. I was hot when I was 16.
Hey, you still little. And you're still as beautiful, funny, precious, and good as you've ever been.
I'm so happy to be here. It is so good to be here with you.
Lord,
and to be back.
You know what? I could have cried when you walked in the door.
I did cry, girl. I had my sunglasses on. You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I had to go back in there and redo my mascara, girl. That stuff runs like crazy. I need to get good stuff.
I know. But what's been up with you, Miss Kelly? We got about 2 minutes now. I know you say a lot in 2 minutes.
Well, I went to auctioneer school. Are you ready? No, I'm just kidding. No, you know, just I've been doing dog rescue, been doing cat rescue, been doing animal rescue, been getting in the trenches, been going and doing that, and doing transports, and trying to save dogs' lives and trying to save cat lives, because Corona affected everybody and everything.
Yes.
So it was weird when Corona hit. Everybody knows I have, you know, a special needs son, so school shut down, and it's really hard.
How did you manage?
Well, you know, you do.
Yeah.
You do. You have to. You have to manage. So, you know, collard greens, black-eyed peas, you know, cornbread.
Fried green tomatoes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My drug of choice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. And good old cornbread with a lot of butter.
Yes,
and, of course, sweet tea.
Yeah,
you
and I'm
got
so
to have sweet tea.
Well, you do, but I'm so thankful my mama couldn't cook a lick, because otherwise I'd be as big as this cow. So everything I learned from her, and I'm really stinky at cooking.
Oh,
Yes.
you are not.
Oh, yes, I'm really not good at it. And when all the restaurants closed, everybody, you know, used to, you say, hey, it's time for dinner, everybody jump in a car. You know, well, you couldn't do that
anymore.
No, not when the Rona hit. You couldn't do that.
That's why I say that I got this coronavirus weight. I found everybody else's, I think, when all this hit.
Well,
and I said, I know why all the Renaissance portraits, everybody's fat and big, because they was going through a plague, and all they did was eating people's painting them, eating them big and fat like everybody's gotten. But we'll get out of that. We'll do better. We'll exercise and do better.
Well, you tell me how that goes. I'm still going to eat my greasy bucket of chicken.
Okay, come back with us. Dottie Coffman's going to be here. You remember Dottie. She's
I love
a lot
Dottie.
of fun. You're going to enjoy it. So stay with us on Friends and Neighbors. Be right back with Kelly.
Woot, woot.
Amen. Well, welcome back to Friends and Neighbors. And Kelly, I'm so glad you're here.
I'm so glad I'm here too.
Oh, you really? And you promised
Did
you're
you
gonna
see
be here
how when
some
I came
more?
in here, how
Yeah.
I was just like giddy? I was just,
I know.
I couldn't even catch up with myself.
Yeah, and I was about to cry.
I was crying. I was
my
wearing
gosh.
yeah.
And we're going to talk later.
We will.
We will. But right now, who are we going to talk to?
Dottie Coffman.
Oh, don't you
I
love Dottie?
Coffman.
And her book
Yes.
called Struggle to Bloom is absolutely wonderful. And Dottie, don't we all have to struggle sometime to know how to bloom, to come out, to know where we're going, who we are as women?
I think so. I think so. The Lord gave me actually that name a long time before I started the book. And then as I went through young adulthood as a Christian woman, trying to figure it out, especially my place in the church setting.
Really?
Yeah, really. It was hard at first. So it was an easy book to write, but hard.
Well, you had to live a lot of it, didn't you?
Yes, I did live a lot of it.
And, you know, I was reading on the back of this about the pioneer women, and even women in, like my great-grandmother, she used to tell me about it when she was young, which is the early 1900s, like 1905, 1910, something like that. They still had quilting bees.
Yes.
And they would get together and quilt, and that's how women helped one another.
Yes.
They would talk, they would share how to cook, how to sew, what needed to be done.
And if
with
there
the
was a young
kids.
woman who wasn't doing exactly maybe what she should be doing, they took her aside and they talked to her, and they were probably not all of them gentle about it, but
Yeah.
some of them were gentle about it. But instead of people gossiping about you or, you know, doing harm to you, they really intended to be helpful.
Well, you know, even the Bible says that the older women are to instruct the younger women.
I can instruct just about anybody now because I'm that old.
Yeah. Way to go, Dottie.
You have arrived.
I feel the same way. You know, we have arrived, but truly, don't you think, as older women, we are supposed to, if they'll let you, you know, some of them won't let you, help to guide them
Yeah.
along this journey.
Some of them know it all. You've met
in
some
this
of
day and
those
age.
young women in their 20s that know it all.
Yeah, they'll say, well, I saw that on the
Sad.
internet.
Not like my
I go to the
granddaughter.
internet and
Aren't they annoying? They annoy me to
yeah.
death. See, I can't get past the patience part.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I definitely want to physically instruct. Yes, for sure. But
That you're here. I haven't seen you in a long time, and I wasn't sure how that was going to go, and I'm glad to see you.
Well, thank you,
because
Dottie.
we've interacted long
Before.
time ago.
long time
And,
ago.
We won't say how long, but
Yeah,
a long time ago.
Well, tell me
It was
what
fun.
is in this book that it says, what is this chapter? My name is Mud.
That's how you instruct the young
Yeah,
women.
my name is
Your name is
Mud,
Mud.
and
You want your
is
name to
yours?
be Mud? This is what you do.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
It's just things that you do. You think you're doing right. You think you're hearing from the Lord, and then the pastor or somebody, deacons or somebody says, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. Oh.
Or you're not doing that
really?
good enough?
Well, how come the Lord told me to? How come the Lord gave me this talent? How come the Lord gave me this personality?
Yeah.
And you're trying to tell me not to do that. Anyway, you have to read the book.
Well, I'm going to read it. I'm going to find out
Yeah.
why my name is Mud.
Is your name Mud?
It has been, but believe me, many times, many
Yeah,
times.
mine has too.
But tell me what what this means, the bad church.
That's the main church where I really got hurt a lot and was, you know, they wanted to vote me out and things like that. you
There
know.
ain't no hurt like church hurt. Boy, that can turn you over and turn you
You'll
out.
have fun reading this book.
You know, I have been,
Yeah.
and that's when you go in the cave, and that's when you don't come out, and that's when you stop interacting, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
when
right.
you're laid wide open.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You know, because Kelly and Dottie, it's hard a lot of times just being a woman.
It is.
But you being a Christian woman and trying to find that place, and especially like you said in church, because a lot of people, you know, I don't even like to say this, but they don't receive you a lot of times in church because, especially if you're new, you got to get in there somewhat
Right.
and convince the older women, I can do this.
Or if
I'm
you-
okay with it.
If you're in leadership, or that's your bent is to be in leadership, you know, God has given you those qualities to lead
Right.
in one way or another, and not necessarily to get up and preach, but to lead.
Right.
And you know, that if that happens, people are like, "Oh,
Yeah.
stay away from her." A lot now. We have since found wonderful churches.
Yeah,
you know, that
I'm in a
are
wonderful church.
wonderful
yeah.
churches.
And usually it works out, it kind of turns out. But it's funny how it all starts out sometimes, like I said, when you're new or you're in leadership. But you wrote this book because of your life's journey, right? Now, you have something that talks about in here, one of your life journey trips, I would imagine, is called the government tour. Because what
That's where I worked. I worked for the Navy Department at the Pentagon.
So what was going on there? What did you do that made you be on this journey to learn more that you could pass on, Dottie?
Yeah, well, it wasn't a bad thing at all. It was good. I mean, I learned a lot. I was a very young woman, but I learned a lot.
Is that where you kind of learned how to write or be an author?
No, although I did work on the public affairs desk, so there was a lot of writing going on. But
But did you had to write some of that, didn't you?
Some of what?
Some of the stories that was happening at the time.
I edited more than anything. They had writers. They Navy,
did?
They had Navy writers.
So-
doing it, and I just edited it.
But that was part of the
Part of the journey, part of
struggle
growing up.
to bloom.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and because you start out a young person, and you have all this ahead of you that you never knew that you had ahead of you. And Kelly, you can testify that with special needs.
Girl, I can testify from
Child.
birth to now for all kinds
And
of
I
stuff.
have
We
a
all do.
grandson that's a special needs. He doesn't speak.
Oh, he's nonverbal.
He has autism, but he understands everything you say.
Of course they do.
And
that's-
so I know, and I live with them, so I know.
Oh, so
Yeah, it's a misconception that they don't know anything.
Oh, they know.
They know so much more than you
yeah.
do.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Very smart,
They do.
very smart
oh, yeah.
kid.
Absolutely.
But
so
that-
this is your guts on a platter. So this is for real. This is a leap of faith that you just, how did this make you feel when you got done with it? Was it like a journey, like a journaling journey to help you along with things that you were struggling
It was when I
in, or-
sat down and wrote out my outlines and everything. It was like journaling. It really was. But and then to remember back about some of the things was hard. But the picture on the front is actually a picture that was painted for me by
that's
an
you,
admiral.
isn't it?
That's me.
Oh.
By an admiral. When I worked for the Navy, he did a portrait. And so I kept it around, and I said, that's what I want to use, because that's the girl
That's her.
that all this started happening to.
Yeah.
So
So another chapter you have in here is called Kicking It for Christ. Now, I need to know what that means. What is kicking it for Christ, Dottie?
well, my twin sons have a Christian karate school. They've had
Now wait,
for
hold
20
on. Wait. You just said something that Kelly is
Oh,
all
yes, I do
about is
love that.
karate.
I love that.
She, oh my goodness, are
Yes.
you still doing that?
MMA, not as much anymore because I have metal in my neck and metal in my knee now. So, you know.
Oh wow, is
Yeah.
that from that? All of your.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
This is a Twin Tigers martial arts, so it's not just karate; it's martial arts.
Uh-huh.
They do jiu-jitsu and
Uh-huh.
Tang Soo Do. And we started it dedicated when they were 15. They really are twins. And when they were 15, we started this, and now they're almost 40.
Oh, that's so cool.
They're getting older. I am not getting
That's
older.
exactly. I'm with you. So, are you a part of that then?
I do all the administrative work.
For them, and you're still there.
I have an honorary 6th degree.
Oh, score.
No
That's
way.
amazing.
Do you really?
That's wonderful.
No. I say that all day. I mean, nobody knows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know what a 6th degree is, and that's major stuff.
It
That's
is.
it. Yeah, I'd be like, I'm not messing with Dottie. Yeah, I'd be sitting over here.
I'm not
for
messing
sure.
with you.
Dottie
If
is.
you're a one, Kelly, because I know you're strong.
Yes,
Very
yes.
strong.
Because
Because
yeah.
My kids
handle
don't mess with
Bradley.
me either. So see if I say that, I'm mama.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. And I do love martial arts because it teaches respect.
It does.
Like in an amazing way. Respect and discipline and obedience.
Absolutely.
And I absolutely love
Discipline
martial
that teaches
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Because at your dojo, if you're instructor, if you're not disciplined enough to do what he says, you'll be doing push-ups the rest of your life.
Really?
Yes, girl, I started getting the biggest pecs I've ever had in my life just from, not doing exactly what I should be
and-
doing. 25,
And
25.
we've had people come in that have accepted the Lord in our classes because we're bold about it. We don't push, but we're bold about it. And some people say, I'd rather come here than to church. They didn't want to go to church. So,
Do
that,
you do the talking, Dottie?
No,
About the
they
Lord?
do.
That your
That's
twin
very
boys
cool
do.
to incorporate that into martial. I mean, who?
Wow.
you need to interview them sometime.
That
Yeah,
would be.
I'll tell
that
Greg.
is.
Yeah.
I'd have never put the two together.
Yes.
That is very creative.
Yes,
Very
absolutely.
creative.
So in a few minutes we're going to take a break, and I'd like to talk to you about. You had a radio show.
I do still.
You still have your
I do.
show.
That's cool.
And you and I did an interview
Yes, we did.
on your radio show, and that was so different for me from not being seen, you know, and you're on the phone.
And you're used to interviewing. See, I'm sitting
Yeah.
here, I'm used to interviewing,
Yeah.
asking the questions, and now you're asking.
It's reverse.
It is.
It's gone reverse. And also, you know, the ladies out there that married young, you married young, and you had some stories probably about your mother-in-law at 15, didn't you, Dottie? So that we can talk about that, because, you know, being 15, you're a little opinionated too, and you think you know a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Yourself. I know I was 20 when I married, and I thought I knew all things.
I was 19.
Well, you know, I thought I knew all things, and, you know, mother-in-laws can get on you a little bit. So, so anyway, when we come back, I want to talk about that and talk a little bit more about your book, but about coming into the woman God wants you to be. So, hey, we got to take a break, Kelly. We're going to come right back with more with Friends and Neighbors. So stay with us. All right, we are back with Dottie Coffman and my wonderful Kelly that I
I'm
love
just
so
giddy.
much.
I'm giddy.
And we're here, yeah, giddy is it.
I am giddy.
The book is called Struggle to Bloom. And I'm telling you now, listen, girls, it takes a while to bloom.
Yeah.
It does, and
I don't know if you ever do.
I want to tell you this though. We were talking earlier about, you know, was there a certain age or whatever. I feel led to share this.
Well, go right
That, you
ahead,
know,
ma'am.
at 46, like it was like on my 46th birthday, my give-a-darn just gave out.
Did it?
It did. And let me tell you what that really means. That I stopped serving
Yeah.
public opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
You got to
And
hold
I
yourself.
really
You're
did.
notorious
Well,
for it,
what you
Dottie.
did was you got enough confidence in who you were and what you were doing that you didn't have to seek after everybody else's opinion. So.
Maybe so, or maybe it's just where I live up in the mountain, and you couldn't leave. You know what I'm saying? But then I got to, you know, so what?
Yeah.
So what? So what? This is what I drive, and this is what I look like, and this is what I do, and I'm fine with it. And then I just my give-a-darn just gave out.
That's
and
true.
that was liberating. That
Absolutely.
really,
And
really.
people have
really
asked,
was.
you know, the question about, for me, you know, how did you know that you had whatever? The only thing that I can say is when I started radio, when I started doing my own show, when I was manager of the radio station, I guess it gave me a little more confidence, and people didn't argue with me.
Yeah.
You know, I made decisions and was allowed, the owner of the station backed me 100%. So that started to, and that wasn't that long ago, maybe 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it took a long time for me to feel confident about things, you know, making decisions and things.
I agree, Dottie. You know, I've been doing this show, this is my 23rd year. And it took me a while to get confident on here. Now I'm just laid back, you know, whatever, you know.
But you would have never known it.
But really?
No, ma'am. No. Especially
See,
with.
I thought I was just terrible.
No, and I'd never known it with you either because she's interviewed me long
It's been a while.
time ago.
Yeah, me
We're due
too.
for another one.
We are.
Yes,
But you know, somebody like me, and just to let you know, I'd never been on the radio before.
I hadn't either.
Ever. And so I looked to your leadership. I needed you to take control.
tell you.
And you did.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you were confident or not. So if you weren't confident, I never knew it.
Good.
When I started the show, you were here.
Yeah, I'd been here, Lord, 15 years, I think, when you got
I
here.
looked to you for leadership,
Yeah.
and never did it ever occur in my mind that you did not have the confidence.
Well,
because I
that-
fed
yeah,
off of you. So you actually, I think you really do. You just hadn't, you ain't let you give a darn get out yet.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm there now.
Well,
I can
there you
tell
go.
that.
She's confident
I'm there
now.
now.
I saw her put
I
on
don't
them
care,
snazzy boots,
you know.
and I was like, woo, that's a confident woman.
But you know what? That's why we need each other.
That's
why
right. We do need each other.
Women. That's why we need to learn that you can bloom now or later. It doesn't matter. Because you will come to a point, like Kelly said, that you just quit. You say, "It's who I am. It's what I do."
Yep.
But it's because you've heard other women and their struggles, their failures, and you think, well, So it's that way with everybody.
Well, and
Kelly.
and too, as you get older, you do mature. You mature with the Lord, and you get to the point of saying, "Oh, I can see some of the things that I went through and how it was leading to this point, and how God wants me to do this thing."
Right.
And that alone gives you confidence.
Don't you feel though, Dottie, that from the beginning to where you are now, it's all been stepping stones.
It has.
It's all
Yes.
been learning experiences. It's all helped you to become the person that you are, to bloom where you are planted.
Right.
I read that book one time, and that was liberating for me because, you know, to some people in my northern people that I'm related to, I'm the Georgia hillbilly, you know. And at first, a long time, that kind of got me. I thought, well, I'm just a Georgia hillbilly. I'm not smart. Well, that's not the truth.
Right.
That's not the truth.
Exactly.
My husband said, you need to go over and look what you have done. Don't pay attention to that because you have done a lot in your lifetime. And when you think about it, just like you, Dottie, you've done a lot in your lifetime to bring you to be able, right, to do a radio show. Same with you, Kelly, to be here on this show. It's all stepping stones.
It is.
It is a struggle to bloom, but you can do it.
You can do it.
You
And we're just normal. Well, I'll speak for myself, and you could probably tell me the same thing. I'm just a normal, everyday human being.
Yeah.
That walks the earth. I go to the grocery store. I do all those normal things. I'm not a famous person. I absolutely do in a high soprano.
Yeah.
A big. Look at these arms, man. I can get it out there. I can blow the roof off the place.
That's right.
Everybody knows.
Your kids.
Everybody knows I'm home. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes, hymns.
But that's good to be just everyday people.
And that proves the point you were talking about before, is we need each other.
Right.
And that was one of my big points in writing that out, not just to air my grievances, but to share, because if I felt this way, surely there are other women out there that felt the same way, and they can say, oh yeah, well, you know, she went through that.
Yeah, and other people will see that, yeah, I fell flat on my face several times. Yes, I had that huge failure, but and I can say this, I did lie there and waller in it a bit.
Of course.
But you know what? There was enough of God in me and enough of God's word in me to say, no, you can do all things through Christ to strengthen.
That's right.
Get up off that floor.
That's right.
Get up, get dressed, and get back to it. You've got it in you. You can do it.
That's right.
But you know what? During that time, Dottie, when everything had gone wrong for me, I had, oh God, thank God I had Christian women that would come and say, listen, I've been through this. Let me help you. Let me encourage you. I know you're going through a hard time. Let me pray with you.
Right.
Let me read the word to you. And I'm telling you, that helps more. Oh, my Lord, just to be encouraged because other women have been through probably the same thing you've gone through, or maybe something entirely
And they
different.
were willing to link arms with you.
Right.
And say, hey, I'll go through this with you.
Right, absolutely. So you can see in your life what you've gone through helped you to be the interviewer that you are on your radio show.
Right.
And I'm like Kelly, when you interviewed me, it was like, whoa, I'm on the other side here. You know, I had
that's how I feel right now. I feel like I should be asking you the questions.
You know, and it is entirely different.
It is. It is.
Questions are thinking to how will I answer these questions?
Right.
Because Dottie asked some questions. I thought, oh, let me think about that a minute, because that it can be challenging a little bit, especially you're on air and you've got to talk at that moment. But one thing I'd said at the break, and we've got to do this. You were young when you got married. How did you do it with your mother-in-law? We got about 2 minutes, Dottie.
Well, my mother-in-law was wonderful. I loved her. I was very close to her. She's gone now. But she was a praying woman. And
You wanted to smack her every now
I
and then.
wanted to smack her when she answered my questions about things and said, well, pray about it. No, know. Give me an answer.
Yeah, you want an answer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Of course, I understand it now.
yeah, well, I was different. With mine, I wanted to reach up and strangle her a few times. But you know, young, 20 years old, married, and you think you know it all.
Right.
And you know, you don't want people telling you what to do. You've had your mother telling all your life what to do. Now you got this mother-in-law telling you what to do. And you think, no, I'm going to make my own decision. But when you look back, you'll see that you learned.
Oh, yes.
Pick up nuggets.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm going to plead the fifth on the mother-in-law because my mom-in-law got a little bit of money and I'm in the will.
Well-
So I'm going to sit over here and not say a word and say mine's just wonderful.
Well, awesome. That's good.
That's good. That's good.
Now, Dottie, tell me how, if anybody wants to get Struggle to Bloom, what do they...
Email me.
Email.
Yes. Email me at Dottie, D-O-T-T-I-E .Coffman, and that's COFFMAN at gmail.com.
Dottie Dot? It's Dottie Dot.
It's
Everybody-
Dottie Dot.
I love that.
Kaufman.
Isn't that
There you go,
cute?
Dot. That's a good way to remember that.
Dottie.Coffman.
I love it.
So we got to do our interview now again on your radio
Yes, we do.
show. And
Yes,
y'all
we
need to
do.
listen
Call me.
for that. And yeah, call us. We'll do it. Hey, here it is. We're glad you were here with us and with Dottie and Kelly, and we'll see you next time on Friends and Neighbors. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.